Hey guys, it's Stephanie with Design My Space. Welcome back. For those of you who are new here, I am Stephanie Jones with Busted Cribs. My husband and I have a flipping show that we have on YouTube and also PureFlix, and I'm the designer and he's the contractor. And I keep getting all of these requests of, hey, what would you do in my space? Or hey, can you design this for me? And so I decided to start this segment called Design My Space, where I design your spaces. You guys send in your photos and I design your space, and then I film it here for everyone to watch. So welcome. I'm excited to jump in today. I have a rental space today. I had someone send in their bathroom for their rental. And so I was really excited about this one because I've rented for years. I just had owned my first home when Justin and I got married 5 years ago. I've always had a rental space that I wanted to feel like home. Even though I was there for a year, 2, 3 years, I still wanted that space to feel like mine. So I came up with ways creatively for, the last 10 years in my dorm room and in rental spaces, just creative ways to be able to make the space my own, but not put holes in the wall, and have everything be removable after the fact. So it is a small bathroom. It is itsy bitsy. Okay, this is dark. It's a dark cabinet. So one of the things she told me was, I like teals, I like airy, I want it to feel fresh and clean. This is kind of the opposite. This is super heavy. Oh, that's nice. The tiles are actually back in style, these square tiles. Oh, I really like it. The floor is good. She's done a really good job with the space and the storage, but I see that she is overflowing in storage. Okay, so I threw some things together in Pinterest to kind of give myself an idea of what direction I wanted to go based off of what she told me that she wanted. So I went with like a boho, natural but beachy teal vibe. My first thought was to do contact paper on the vanity. The whole idea is this vanity is super dark. It's dark brown. And if she wants a light and bright space, the best thing to complement those wood floors would be a white vanity or a turquoise vanity. You can use teal or turquoise contact paper. So like this is a turquoise one. They kept the original countertops, but again, you can put contact paper on the countertop. There is a higher end contact paper that you can purchase on Amazon or even Wayfair that it looks like marble. And so you can put that down. All you do is cut around the sink. If you want it to look like, more modern or mid-century modern, you can actually paint lines on your contact paper, or you can paint, like I did this in college where we had a really ugly vanity and it was a flat front, but I put contact paper on it and I painted like these cool flowers and everyone thought it was the coolest thing. And to me, it was like, well, that was an easy fix, but we had the coolest dorm room in the entire dorm because I just came up with these creative ways to make my space more like fit my personality better. Cause that was, even though I was there for, a semester, I'm still there every day. And every time I walk into a space, I wanna feel like it's my home, So this person, it looks like they painted little stripes. Super cute idea. You can change out hardware pretty easily. Just make sure you measure where the holes are at. And when you go to buy it, you have to make sure that those specifications are exactly the ones that you're buying. So that's something easily. You put your renter's handles somewhere else, replace those out. You can do that in a kitchen. You can do that for anything. You can also do all of these contact papers in your kitchen too. And she doesn't need to change out the tile per se, but I did put there is a teal tile that I thought was really cool. And it's this like little turquoise teal tile. And I thought it would be really cool to do a third of the way down this cool little teal accent around the shower just to add that little pop if she wanted to, but these are peel and stick. They peel right on. You put them on, you kind of see where the grout line is. They go right over it. You still have your natural grout line. They look so legit, like it's a new tile. And this is a great way, even if you're not renting, it's a great way to refresh your space. I would love to do a wallpaper in there. So I would prefer to have the wallpaper on this back wall here, where the storage cube and where the mirror are. Some other wallpapers is this one's a great one for what you're wanting. I love this scallop one. I think it's so fun and so cute. Depending on budget, you can either buy a new mirror or you can wrap your current mirror. I see here that your mirror is pretty dark. It matches the vanity, which is great, but it makes the space feel like really dark. But you can also do contact paper. They actually framed it. They created their own frame, which you could do if you had like an actual full glass. A lot of rentals just do that full piece of glass. And in the past, I have created a frame, or I went out and bought a frame, and I just put command strips over my frame or over my mirror, and it created this cute little look. All right, lighting. It feels very dark in there. And I don't know if you have a light in your shower, but it looks really dark. So a couple things you can do is get a little puck light, put it in your shower. They have remotes now for these puck lights, and it'll give you some additional light in there. It is really dark in your space. And with bathrooms, I wanna feel like I'm waking up, I'm enjoying my space, and it's a little dark right now. So maybe change out your light bulbs to a daylight bulb in the vanity one, but also add a puck light. A second thing for design is to add a pendant light in the middle of your space. But right in the middle, the center of the room, I would create some sort of basket, and then like a pendant light. You can take a basket and literally hang it on your ceiling. I've done that before. And then put one of those battery operated lights in it that you can use the little clicker remote to. And you now have extra light, but it looks really cool. This person, for instance, like you can take an old pendant light, again, off Facebook Marketplace or whatnot, and you can screw in a battery operated light bulb. All you do with this is you take command tape, and it goes straight on your ceiling, and it looks like a light fixture. So for instance, I have this, it came as a pendant light. I'm actually not using the basket portion of it. And honestly, I would go a little bit wider if I were you, but it has the little round thing in there. And all you have to do, I would put this directly onto your ceiling. So if this is your ceiling, put it directly on, screw in or attach a puck light to this little flat space. And with the command hooks, you could literally hook it right into the basket. And you have this really cute design that looks expensive. It looks like you did something cool with it, and it was so minimal effort and minimal cost. So these are the lights I'm talking about. They have this receptacle on the bottom, and you screw them in like a normal light bulb, but it has this little remote clicker that you can use. And they just used a pendant light and a basket, and super simple way to use in a rental or as a dorm college student. Another thing is to attach these little strips of wood in a starburst pattern from that little basket. Like imagine you had this cute little basket, and then on the ceiling you could even do washi tape coming out from it that comes right off. And you have this really neat, fun design, because again, it's a rental, make it fun, make it your own. But you have this cool design coming off your light on your ceiling, and you peel it right off when you're done, when you move out. If you're handy and you have access to your breaker box and you can turn off your electricity, I would replace your light fixture altogether. They're super cheap, and I would go with something, a little bit more fun where, you have still the 3, but it's just brighter. If you do not have, I'm not good at electrical work, so I have always just taken my light fixtures and I've replaced the globe to it. So you can get a round globe, you can get some people like the mason jar globes, or here I have a seated glass, just cone globe. Super easy to replace. There's a little screw on it, you unscrew it, take off this old dated one, and then you put the old one on and screw it back in, and it holds it. Put the globes that are your renters in a safe spot, because again, when you move out, you have to put all this back together. So the last thing I wanted to address was storage, because in a small bathroom, if you're anything like me, storage is a huge issue when you're renting. I felt like I always had way too much stuff to fit in my space. And so it was like, I just didn't have good storage. And I was like, oh, I'm just renting. It's not a big deal. Again, you're living in this space. Make it functional for you. Spend a little bit of money, even though, again, you're moving out, you're not improving it to sell it, but you're living in it. So make the investment for yourself to enjoy your space. Every day you walk in, you're like, oh, I love this space. I see you don't have a ton of counter space, but I see that there's a lot piling up on it. So I came up with a couple of options for you. Get really good at organizing this below cabinet, right? Maybe create tiers so that you can put your smaller stuff on the bottom, and then that way it organizes it really nicely down below, and it's more functional for you. All of my towels and stuff and things that I didn't use, like cleaning supplies, were under the sink because I didn't want to bend down and get my my soap or my lotion from the cabinet, but that's a really good way to clear a lot of the clutter. This above the toilet was a great idea. I'm so glad you did this. This is so functional, but I still see it's overflowing. So a couple of options that you can do that I have done before also is make this taller. For very little money, you can take a 2x4 or even bed risers. I found some bed risers once on Amazon. They were like $20 for 4, or furniture risers, and you'll get a good 4 or 5 inches and just put them on the bottoms of your tower. Make sure it's nice and secure. You don't want this tower falling over. And then what you can do is on top of your toilet, add a couple of baskets that you can put all of these lotions or maybe extra toilet paper, things that you can kind of hide away so that the visual clutter is not there. And inside of the tower where you do have the doors, also organize that better. Put them in bins. When everything has a home, it is easier to group. It's also easier on the eye. It feels like, oh, there's a home for this. But all your little things will be in there, and you'll create these little either clear bins and put your lotions in the clear bin and line them up to where they're visually appealing. Then you'll have your toothpaste or anything extras, soaps, like in another bin. So you'll create these little sections of organized chaos to where it just feels more visually okay on your eye, and then it wouldn't feel so busy in your small bathroom. Groupings of 3 are so practical with organizational and making sure your space feels organized. That's what professional stagers do. They do everything in groups of 3. As far as storage goes for the shower, I have done this before and it is a game changer. I had a tiny shower in college. And we had 4 girls sharing it. It's like the size of this desk. And we had all of our hair products. So some people, would bring in these little caddies. And one day I was like, you know what, there's gotta be a better way. And I'm so glad someone actually has this on Pinterest, because I did this exact thing. I took a spring mounted rod, I put it in the shower above, like I would do it above your tile. And then you hang these little baskets. You can get the baskets at Dollar Tree, but then all of your soaps can go in these baskets. It is phenomenal. It is the best, hands down, the best hack I've ever seen in a rental or in a dorm room. But yeah, I think that's about it. I hope that was helpful, Venus, and I hope that all of you watching were able to get some tips from that. I would love for y'all to send in your spaces. So all you have to do is go to Busted Cribs, and right up here in the top, it says Design My Space. You can find links that I've talked about in this episode, in the series, and you can watch it on YouTube. But this down here in this white box is where you send in your questions or pictures. So one thing I will say, it does say upload 3 to 5 photos. The reason I need photos is I need to get an idea of your space. If I'm gonna spend the time doing this, I really need you guys to do your work to send me really good photos that I can get a good overview of what your space looks like. That way I can design it and you can actually take it and utilize these designs. I'm actually spending time on these. I'm thinking practically about your space, and I love doing this. So go on there, send this to your friends, send in your stuff. It's completely free to do this, and I'm hoping to feature your place on an episode one day. That would be really cool. All right, be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube page as well as my Instagram. I'm gonna start posting things to our Busted Cribs Instagram that deal with my design. And send in your spaces. Send it to your friends, your family. Send in your spaces so I can design your space next time. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time, guys. And bye.